The Book of Enoch begins by warning all mankind and the fallen angels who have made the earth a home of debauchery, bloodshed, and sorcery. The vast book was written about 200 years ago, with the earliest writings in it dating back to around 300 BC and the latest records around 100 BC. The Book of Enoch was removed from the Jewish and Christian biblical canons in the first centuries of the new calendar. Who is Enoch? Enoch is the son of Jared, a descendant of the first man, Adam, from his seventh generation, the great-grandfather of the famous Noah. He communicates with God and is a religious teacher of the people, a prophet, and a sage. He is a teacher and educator. His name translates as initiator. There is very little information about him in the Bible, but gives him a place in Genesis 5:21-24, enough to indicate how long his life was. 365, confirming the existence of his person and describing his life in the laconic phrase that has given rise to countless interpretations. And Enoch walked after God and disappeared because God took him. He is one of the only two people who hasn't seen death and was taken to heaven by God, the other being Elijah. Enoch is also credited as the creator of writing and astrology. In addition, he communicates with God and is a religious teacher of the people, a prophet, and a sage. Many church fathers, such as Justin Martyr, Athenagoras of Athens, Irenaeus, Clement of Alexandria, Origen, Tertullian, and Lactantius wrote about him, who spoke with great respect for Enoch. A lot of allusions of Enoch is included in their writing, and in some cases explicitly advocate the use of the book itself as scripture. As we already saw in the book of Genesis, where Enoch is described as one of the 10 patriarchs, each one of them are believed to have led a long life, that is many centuries. There is an exception in Enoch's case, and he is said to have lived a long life but did not see death. This is given in Hebrews 11 verse 5. In Genesis 5:22-24, we see that Enoch lived 365 years, which is comparatively lesser than the other antediluvian patriarchs who are recorded people who lived as long as 700 years. The brief account of Enoch in Genesis 5 ends with the cryptic scripture that he was not, for God took him. Enoch had great devotion to the Lord, and in return he showed immense love to Enoch. Let's have a look at the 5 volumes in the Book of Enoch to understand what is contained there. Watcher's Book. This book, written around 300 BC, marks the beginning of the manuscript. It describes the fall of the Watchers, or Watcher angels, who become the fathers of the Nephilim. Genesis 6:1-4. In this writing are also the accounts of Enoch's travels in the heavens. The book opens with an introduction that says Enoch is a righteous man whose eyes were opened by God, so that he saw the visions sent to him by the Holy One in heaven. He showed him the sons of God, and from them he hears everything and knows that which he sees. But what he sees will not happen to this generation, but to a generation that is yet to come. The book also gives insight to us about God coming to earth on Mount Sinai with his armies to pronounce judgment on humanity. It also reveals shocking truths about how all things are predestined by God and happen in his own time. It says that the sinners will perish and the great and the good will continue to live in light, joy, and peace. This section describes the 7 interaction of the fallen angels with humanity. Samyaza forces the remaining 199 fallen angels to take human wives to bear them children, and Samyaza, who was their leader, said to them, I am afraid that you will not really agree to do this deed, and I alone will have to pay the penalty for a great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear and all bind ourselves by mutual oaths, not to abandon this plan, but to do this deed. Then all together swore and bound themselves by mutual curses upon him, and they were 200 in all, who went down in the days of Jared to the top of Mount Hermon, and called it Mount Hermon, because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual oaths upon it. The book also discusses the decadent training of humans by fallen angels, most notably Azazel. And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made them acquainted with the metals of the earth. and with the art of working them, with bracelets, with ornaments, with the use of anatomy, with the beautifying of the eyelids, with all kinds of precious stones, and with colorings. And much wickedness arose, and they committed fornication, and they went astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. Then the Most High said, Go to Noah, and say to him on my behalf, Hide yourself, and reveal to him the end that is coming, that the whole earth will be destroyed, and that a flood will come upon the whole earth, and destroy everything that is on it. Book of Proverbs, chapter 37 to 71 of the Book of Enoch, are called the Book of Proverbs. It deals not only with the fate of the fallen angels, but also with the wicked kings of the earth. The most interesting thing about this book is the expression Son of Man, used for the eschatological hero who is also called Righteous One, Elect One, and Messiah sitting on the throne of glory at the final judgment. The first known use of Son of Man as a specific title in the Hebrew Scriptures is in the Book of Enoch, and its use may have played a role in the early Christian understanding and use of the title. The Astronomical Book. This book contains descriptions of the movement of the heavenly bodies as well as knowledge of the cosmos revealed to Enoch on his journeys to heaven, guided by Uriel. It describes the solar calendar, which was later also described in the Book of Jubilees used by the Dead Sea sect. The book Dreams. It contains visions of Israel's history all the way back to what most interpret as the Maccabean Revolt, dated to the Maccabean period around 163 to 142 BC. According to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, it was written before the biblical flood. The book continues with visions and allegorical accounts of Israel's history in which animals are used as symbols of human beings and people as symbols of angels. The Message of Enoch. Scholars date this manuscript to somewhere around 170 BC. It tells the story about the world using a structure for 10 weeks. In this, 7 of them denote the past and 3 denote the future events. There is a short list of exhortations to follow righteousness spoken by Enoch to his son Methuselah. It describes the wisdom of God, the final reward of the righteous and the punishment of the wicked, and the 2 separate paths of righteousness and unrighteousness. This section also tells about the flood and about Noah, who was born with the appearance of an angel. The conclusion emphasizes the generation of light in the opposition to sinners doomed to darkness. The major themes running through these prophecies are the expectation of a Messiah's final judgment, salvation, resurrection, and heavenly journeys. It gives visions of heaven where an angel would reveal to a prophet the end times or a coming judgment of the world. Enoch is one of the oldest Jewish apocalyptic texts, even older than another famous apocalyptic text, the Book of Daniel. We also find the idea of hell in Enoch, another theological concept seen later in Christianity. Enoch beholds a narrow chasm extending to the abyss where he saw a great fire burning and flaming. The text says this place is a prison for the angels where they will be confined forever. It reveals that the current world is evil and needs to be judged and renewed. A new age is at hand. God's final judgment is coming. Even though Enoch only earned a brief mention in Genesis' source text, it inspired an entire book that continues to influence religious traditions for centuries to come. This book introduced the ideas of hell, salvation, the Son of Man, and the coming of the Messiah. These ideas laid the groundwork for the central themes of Christian theology. The important question is why the Book of Enoch is not included in the Bible. 1 Enoch was at first accepted in the Christian church, but later excluded from the biblical canon. It's important to note that the first Book of Enoch is not scripture. That is, the book is not inspired by God. The Book of Enoch actually falls into a category of writings called the pseudepigrapha. This means that the author is not who he claims to be. This can be understood by the analysis of Noah's flood mentioned in the book. The Bible indicates that Enoch was taken into heaven before the flood, so it's much more likely that the book Enoch was written by someone else later who falsely claimed that Enoch was the original author. Therefore, the Book of Enoch doesn't have much value for Christians who are trying to learn the gospel truths. Enoch's book is a mystery, and no one knows for sure whether it was written by Enoch himself or compiled by someone taking inspiration from him. A lot of mysteries are yet to be solved about the book.